Those of you who are watching via Facebook, we appreciate you watching. Those who are watching now or will watch it later, another family Bible discovery. We thank God for our prayer warrior that just led us to the throne of grace on our prayer call. We're grateful to God for another day that he has made. This is the day the Lord hath made. And we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Our God is an awesome God. He can do anything. He created the world all by himself. He said, beside me, there is no other God. And so we serve a God who is able to do anything. And so whatever you're going through, our God is able to deliver you. As he takes you through the pressure, as he takes you through the storm, the person was able to see, or the person was able to speak, the person was able to hear. So what that tells us is that everything is not physical. Everything is not physical. Some things and conditions and sicknesses are spiritual. So we dealt with that last week. I don't want to go back over those things because tonight's going to be a lot more practical, just a lot more practical with our health. Some things are emotional. Some things are psychological. It is the mind that is the reason why the body is sick. It is the mind is the reason why the body is sick. So sometimes it's psychological. Sometimes it is the way we're thinking. It is carrying unforgiveness. It's carrying bitterness. It's carrying anger. It's carrying all those things which then manifest in sickness in our body. It manifests in all kinds of disease because that stuff needs to get out of us. So we attack sickness on all levels. We attack it spiritually, we attack it mentally, psychologically, and we're attacking it, of course, spiritually. Sometimes we're sick because of what we do. So we talked about sickness, 4 things being sickness in our world. Sin. Maybe I should do a Q&A and ask y'all a question and see if y'all can answer. What are the 4 things that we said bring sickness into our world? What did we say it was? Anybody? We said environment, sin. Very good. 2 more things. I just named one. What was Jesus doing? He was attacking it out. So spiritual attack. So we got sin, we got sickness in our world, which is environment. We have spiritual attack, and then what was the other one? Diet and exercise. Diet and exercise. So those 4 reasons is why sickness exists. Those 4 reasons why sickness exists. So sickness exists obviously because of sin. As we were saying before, there were people that Jesus would heal and say, go and sin no more, lest the worst thing come upon you. Then there is sickness that has nothing to do with sin. The man who was born blind, and they said, who did sin, this man or his parents? Jesus said, neither sin. He's blind for the glory of God. He's blind for what's about to happen to him now. This deliverance is going to bring glory to God. So we're not saying that everything is that. Then, of course, there's sickness. There's environmental sickness. Well, people get cancer from things in our air, things in our water, things in your family line. All that kind of stuff is environmental. And then, of course, lack of diet or wrong diet. And exercise. We're going to talk a little bit about the diet tonight. And no exercise. The no exercise, that can make us sick. So when we talk about holistic healing, holistic health, we're trying to attack it from all these different areas. So let's jump in kind of where we ended last week. We want to strive to be physically fit to aid in becoming spiritually fit. We want to strive to be physically fit to aid us in becoming spiritually fit. The more physically fit that we are, it can help us even in our spiritual endeavors. Sometimes people don't read the Bible because they're too tired to read it. They don't pray because they're too tired to pray. They don't come to church because they're too tired to come to church. They don't worship when you're in church because they're too tired to worship when they're in church. All of these things have to do with our physicality. And so when God calls you and want to use you, you have to be physically fit to do it. You know, people who preach, you got to have strength to preach. You got to have stamina to preach. You got to have wind to preach. The wind, the breathing. If you preach and you preach like African American preachers do, but even if you're a lecturer, you still need strength. You need stamina. You need stamina to speak to people, to pray for people, to be up for people, and that needs stamina. So look up here, 1 Timothy 4:8. Look at what it says. For bodily exercise profiteth little. It's saying that because it's talking about in the context of godliness. So if we're going to put bodily exercise on a par with godliness, godliness is more profitable because it profits in all things. Godliness profits in all things. However, he is not saying that bodily exercise doesn't profit. He's saying it does profit. Bodily exercise will profit you. But godliness is going to go further because It's profitable in all things, having a promise of the life that now is and of that which is to come. Physical exercise only has a promise in this life. It has no promise or no credibility for the life that is to come. If these bodies are worn down and worn out and old and haggard and sickly or whatever, we not taking these bodies into eternity. We're going to get brand new bodies that's not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. I don't know about y'all, but I can't wait to get that body. It'll have no scars, no sicknesses, no disease. It won't age. It'll just be a body of power and a body of strength. So exercising in the natural does nothing. It's not doing anything for us into eternity. It's just giving us help here and now, and we need that help. We need to be fit as best we can, because being fit, of course, keeps sickness off of us. Being fit keeps your immune system up. It keeps you when things are coming against you, your body is functioning properly. Your blood is flowing properly. Your cells are carrying nutrients and oxygen and picking up waste products and taking it to the kidneys, and the kidneys are functioning properly, and the liver is functioning properly, and things are being dismissed out of you. There are no toxins in you. There are no toxins to bring sickness. There's no leaky gut, things floating through the gut and poisoning the rest of the body. All that stuff goes if we can keep ourselves physically fit and we watch our diet, watch what we eat. And that's a part of being holistically whole. It's not enough to pray for God to heal my body, touch my body, but then we don't do anything in the physical to make that happen. We were talking to somebody about tithing. You know, it's one thing to give a tithe and say, well, I'm looking for the Lord to bless me, but then in the natural realm, I don't do anything to create increase for myself. Both those things go together. You have to tithe, but we're supposed to be diligent in the physical realm, trying to create revenue, trying to work. Work is the first thing God gave man. First thing he gave man is work. You got to work this garden. This is my plan. This is my process. I want you to work, to be diligent, to produce, to progress, to make something happen, to multiply, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, build, grow. So it's not enough to say, well, I'm going to give my tithe. So it's the same thing in our physical body. It's not enough to pray and say, Lord, heal my body, keep me whole, keep me healthy, but I never eat right. I never work out. I never exercise. I don't go to bed on time. I stay up all night long, but then I'm praying these prayers. That is not going to work, because it all goes together, right? All right, so it all goes together. So this is really, really important. So let me move on. So fasting is a big piece of both spiritual help and physical help. Fasting does things both spiritually and physically. Fasting helps to clean the bloodstream. When you fast, you push that plate back. So when God teaches us the concepts of fasting, it's not just a spiritual concept, but it's also a physical concept. And everybody's talking about intermittent fasting now, you know, where you go at the time you don't eat, and you go so many hours before you eat again. And if you would do that, you know, your body will lose weight, your body will detox, your body will cleanse. But these are things that God already knew. This is why God gave us concepts and principles of fasting. Remember what the Pharisee was saying when he was praying. He said, I fast twice in the week. I fast twice in the week. So that's 2 days he's going without food within the week. And everybody is telling us, the health professionals are telling us that that's very healthy for us to let the body go some time without food, because processing all the food can be hard on the body. So fasting helps to clean the bloodstream. Digestion requires energy. Some foods take more energy. So like red meats and pork and shellfish, it takes more energy to digest that than if we was eating vegetables and eating organic foods and raw foods. It's a lot more. If it does not mold in 5 to 7 days, then what? Don't eat it. If something doesn't mold in 5 to 7 days, you should not eat that. So you put something on the counter and it's open to the air and it doesn't mold in 5 or 7 days, that means it's not healthy for you to really put in your body. You know, you can take a Twinkie. When they had Twinkies, do they still make Twinkies? A Twinkie will last a year and won't mold. And Twinkies is indestructible. I mean, think about what's happening. When something doesn't mold, it's saying that even bacteria won't eat it. That's what it's saying. Even bacteria don't want it, because there's nothing in it. There's no nutrients. There's nothing healthy about it. There's nothing in it. So if something doesn't mold and you've left it out in the air, notice when you bite a piece of fruit like an apple or something, you leave it sitting on the counter, it is hardly no time at all that apple starts turning brown because that's good food. So it's hardly no time at all. You leave it there an hour, 2 hours, you come back, it's already starting to turn brown. Bananas, you sit the banana up there, it starts ripening quickly. It's going to be where you can't eat it because that's good food. Somebody say good food. Yes. Sometimes that is the case. The things that are made in the factories are not good for us. Now, God made everything. Obviously, He created everything in the world. But when we take it and we process it in certain ways, we are taking the nutrients out of what He made natural. So you're right. So when we take food and process food, it's taking the nutrients out of it. And we're putting in preservatives. We're putting chemicals in. And those things are not good for us. That's what we talk about environmental sickness. Sometimes we're getting chemicals and things in our food. When they put in hormones into the animals, into the cows or pigs or whatever, to make them grow bigger. You ever go to get that chicken and that chicken looks like a turkey, big giant wing, big giant. What chicken looks like that? I mean, think about it. What chicken looks like that? You know that chicken has been pumped with stuff, pumped with steroids to make it grow bigger, to make it grow faster. People say, "Ooh, we got these big juicy pieces of chicken." I hate that kind of chicken. When I go somewhere and they got that kind of chicken, I don't even want it. It's like, no, thank you. You know, give me the little chicken wings. I want the normal size chicken because we know they're doing things to it. Now, what they put into the food, we're now ingesting it into us. What they put into the food, we're now ingesting, we're eating it, we're putting it into us. So we want to watch that kind of stuff. And again, God gives us instruction. We'll see in a little bit of different stuff we should and shouldn't eat. Water fasting can be very beneficial to degenerative diseases. It can be very helpful for those kind of diseases. You know, we want to keep our minds right. We don't want dementia. We don't want Alzheimer's. We don't want none of that. So we want to stay hydrated. You're supposed to drink, how many ounces is this? I don't think this is 16, is it? Yeah, so 8 ounces a day. So if you drink 4 of these a day, you're doing good. So, you know, you're at least getting your 8 ounces. So 4 of these a day. Y'all want some water? No, just playing. So at least 4 of those a day. So if you get up in the morning, you chug one, you know, then for lunch you chug one, then for break you chug one, then before you go to bed you chug another, and you have had good hydration and good water. Now some people replace this with pop and replace it with all kind of other stuff. Water. Somebody say water. Don't need to replace. I'm not saying you can't drink pop. I'm not saying you can't drink it, but you want to get that water in you. It's a good practice. The first thing you do when you get up is to drink the water. At least drink you 8 ounces right there. When you got rid of all that, now you're drinking water, and that kickstarts your system. And then, of course, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm going to say it again. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And breakfast is anytime you break fast. You're fasting overnight. When you go to bed, you're not eating. So if you go to bed at 10 o'clock and you get up at 10 o'clock, that's 12 hours. Hopefully you're not getting up that late, but I'm just saying. That means you haven't eaten for how long? 12 hours. So you've been fasting for 12 hours. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock, you wake up in the morning, and now it's 10 o'clock in the morning, you have been fasting for 12 hours. If it's 12 o'clock and you still haven't eaten, you've been fasting for 10, 11, for two more extra hours. If it's 4 o'clock and you still haven't eaten, because you've been busy, whatever, then you've been fasting for many hours. Now, when you eat at 4 o'clock, that is breakfast. It doesn't matter what time you eat it, it's breakfast. It means you're breaking your what? Fast. What you eat then is the most important thing you're going to eat all day when you break the fast. So make sure that that meal is a good, healthy meal. You don't want to have something that's bad for breakfast, okay? You want to have something good and healthy for breakfast. So cells can die from lack of oxygen, lack of use, narrowing of arteries, toxins, and improper nourishments. It actually kills off our cells. So when you're working out and you're breathing, you're getting that oxygen in you, that's good for your cells. That's good for the blood flow. That's good for your respiratory system. So your arteries not narrow. I was talking to one of my pastor friends just today. I was talking to him, and he was telling me, man, I had such a big scare. He's maybe a year older than me. I don't know. He said, man, I had such a big scare. He said, my kids called me, And I was going, we were getting ready to go to dinner. And I said, yeah, I can go. So I was just downstairs in the office. He said, yeah, I can go. He said, next thing I know, my sons was with me in the bed. I was like, what's going on? He had passed out. He said, what's going on? He said he did not know his son's name. He knew it was his son, but he didn't know his name. He knew it was his wife, but he didn't know his name. He said, I feel like I was having a stroke. He said, I didn't know my wife's name. I didn't know my son's name. I knew that they were my wife and my son, but I didn't know their names. And I said, man, did you go to the doctor? He said, I called the doctor, but he's got an appointment set up. He said, I'm better now. He said, but it really felt like I had a stroke. And so I was talking to him, you got to take care of yourself. You need a break. As when the last time you had a vacation, you need a break. You need to get away. And then I was saying, so what's going on? You doing something different? He said, you know what? I think a big part of it is I'm picking up my grandkids every day. And every day they want to go to McDonald's. Every day they want to go to McDonald's, some fast food. He said, every day I take them, and now I'm eating it. And I don't eat that stuff. You know, he eats very, very good. But since he's been doing this for some months, every day now he's eating fast food. And that fast food is getting to him. And so the doctor got him on a different diet and all that kind of thing. So when you switch your food like that, you don't need to take a month. It takes about a month for your body to totally respond to whatever it is you're doing. So if you make good changes, in a month, your body's going to start responding to that really quickly. You know, obviously some stuff can respond to it in a day. You can eat some stuff and today you feel bad because of what you've eaten. So you got to watch the fast food stuff. I'm not saying we can't eat it. I'm saying just be careful of it. We don't want to do what he's doing. Every day you're eating fast food. Every day, speaking of the kids, he's eating burgers. Every day he's eating fries and burgers. So because that creates bad stuff in us. It's improper nourishment. It's not helping us, right? Yes. That's true. She said sometimes if you just figure out what you've been doing, you don't need a doctor to tell you. Yeah, sometimes you can just look at your past history and see the changes that I made, they're not good. I've stopped working out. I've stopped going to bed on time. I've stopped eating proper. I've started eating more fast food. I've started eating more sweets and so forth. Yeah. And so you can kind of see yourself where you've gotten off the beaten path. Yes. Yeah. Right. Right. They're trying to ascertain what's going on with you. What have you done differently? What have you changed? What have you been eating? Yes. Because you are what you eat. We are. We are what we eat. And we have the wonderful privilege of controlling that. We get to control what we eat. We get to control what we eat. We get to control what we think about. We get to control our workouts, our health, our walking. We get to control all that. It's in nobody else's control but ours. So when we talk about fasting, we fast also for spiritual reasons. You know, when things are happening, Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek the Lord and proclaim the fast throughout all Judah. And this is, of course, when the Amalekites and they teamed up against him and they come in against him. He said, Lord, we can't fight all these people. We can't even number them. There's so many of them. He put everybody on a fast, put the whole nation on a fast. And, of course, God gave him direction what to do. And this is when he said, I want you to go to the battle, not with swords and spears and everything, for the battle was the Lord's. I want you to go with praise and worship. I want you to go with adoration and praise. And this was a huge thing to ask the people of God to do. It took faith to do this. To go to a battlefield where the other army has swords and weapons, and you go into the battlefield with your hands lifted up saying hallelujah and praise the Lord and thank you, Jesus. I mean, it takes serious faith to do this. He said, but if you believe the Lord, you'll prosper. You'll believe his prophets, you will prosper. So obviously they do what God says. They go to the battle like that. And, of course, God sends ambushments in the camp, and they begin to fight themselves and everything, and Israel becomes victorious. But they fasted, and as they fasted, got directions. Of course, you remember the fast of Daniel. We call it the Daniel fast, where now what he's doing, he's not going without food at all, but he's saying to the king, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. So the king wow, I'm drawing a brain freeze here. I don't want to say this is Nebuchadnezzar, not yet. He hasn't come to the kingship yet. But this is the Babylonian exile. And so Daniel and the boys are in Babylonian exile. And so the king is saying, they have to present themselves to the king, and the king furnishes all their food. So the eunuch is saying, look, if I let you guys not eat the king's meat, because the king's meat, of course, is offered to idols, so they don't want to eat it. They don't want to eat the king's meat. They don't want to drink the king's wine because it's offered to idol gods, and they don't want to have any part of that. He said, but if y'all look worse than the other people, the king's going to kill me and you. So he said, okay, just give us 10 days to eat like we want to eat. And if we don't look better than these others, then let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the other children that's going to be eating the king's meat, drinking the king's wine, eating of the portions of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So, of course, if you keep reading that, you will see that after that time period, he looked at those that were eating the meat and drinking the wine. He looked at Daniel and his friends, and they looked better. They looked better. They looked more fit. And he's like, y'all look better than them, and they eating that stuff. So you can keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to eat the king's meat. But fasting does those kind of beneficial things for us, both physically and spiritually. They work for us. So fasting can help break food addictions. A lot of this that we're on and we have in our system is an addiction, you know, and the fasting can help break them. Some people are addicted to stuff. I had a teacher in school, one of my psychology classes, she was addicted to Pepsi. She's like, I just have to have a Pepsi. And so she had put herself on like a fast from Pepsi, and she says it was ridiculous. It was terrible, all the withdrawal that she was having. And then one of the classes we came to, one of the kids had a Pepsi on the desk. She's like, I can't believe you brought a Pepsi in here and put it on a desk like that. You know, it's like, I just told y'all I have an addiction to Pepsi. But anyway, we have these addictions, and so fasting can help to break them. Where you're addicted to certain foods, you're addicted to eating at certain times, we're addicted to certain things. One of the big things we're addicted to is what? Sugar. Sugar is the enemy. Sugar is not good for us. And we are really addicted to it. We're addicted to the sweets, the candy. And not just sweets and candy, but sugar is in everything. It really is. It's in everything. If you eat Doritos, if you eat chips, sugar's in there. Sugar is in everything. So because it's you know, it's affecting how things taste. So when we look at sugar for a minute, sugar, 4 grams to every teaspoon of sugar. There's 4 grams of sugar to every teaspoon of sugar. There are 4 grams. A can of pop, just a little can of pop, is 40 grams of sugar. So a can of pop, just think about sparkling water with flavor in it, and then you put 10 teaspoons of sugar into the pop to make it sweet. That's how much sugar is going into 1 can of pop. And most of the times, nobody pretty much is drinking a can of pop anymore. What's the ounces on a can? 12 ounces on a can. How many ounces do you think is in that cup back there? That Burger King cup. That's at least 20 ounces or more. And that's considered a medium. So when you get the big one, you get a large, my God, you're probably getting 32 ounces. Now, in some places, when I get that big cup, I think of myself as, to me, when I was little, that's like the pitcher we used to put on the table for everybody to pour their cups out of. And that's one person's drink. That's how it looks to me. It's like, this is like what we would put on the table to pour everybody some in their cup. That was the pitcher. Now the pitcher has become everybody's individual drink. Everybody's got these big, giant drinks in their hand, and we're drinking. So imagine the sugar intake we're getting when we drink that. Imagine the sugar intake we're getting when we drink that. That is huge sugar. So I know sometimes we think that the way to go is diet pop, but we'll get to that in a minute. So sugar is a known immunosuppressant. It suppresses your immune system. I see your hand, Ash. What's your question? It tastes good when you eat it, but it's not good for you. Just like you just drank that sugary pop, right? It's not good for you. Okay, yeah. So it suppresses the immune system. So it can make us get sicker faster because it brings the immune system down. So instead of our immune system being high, kicked in to fight these diseases and fight germs and fight the things that come in bacteria and so forth, it actually pulls it down. Sugar is an anti-nutrient. It is no nutrients in it. The body's getting nothing from that. All we're getting is a sweet taste. That's all we're getting is a sweet taste. We're getting no nutrient at all. Sugar is known to interfere with the absorption and increase the excretion of the B vitamins and almost all minerals. So it's depleting your body of the stuff that we need. So when we don't have any kind of understanding of what we eat. That's why I'm teaching this. I'm not teaching it because it's going to be the end all be all of your diet, but hopefully it'll make you start looking into the things that you eat, do a little research on the things that we eat so we can become a little bit more knowledgeable and help ourselves. Because we really don't want to have something that's kicking all the vitamins out and we're not putting any vitamins in. We should try to take vitamins every day. Supplements help us. You don't get everything you need from the food, and most of the times we don't eat all the food we should eat, so it's a good practice to take vitamins. It's a good practice to get your vitamin C, get your vitamin D, B, and your omegas, your fish oils, and your protein, your fiber, all this stuff. Now, I do this every day. Every day, I got all my vitamins. I take them every day. I don't miss them. I take them every day. I take my protein drinks, my green food drinks, my fiber drinks, and then all that regimen of vitamins. That is my breakfast. That's what I'm going to have for breakfast every day. I'm going to have that every day. Just the drink and all that. I'm going to eat something else later. But what that helps me to do is I know that if I don't get nothing else healthy today, I know I got all the nutrients I'm really supposed to have in a day, and I got it first thing. The first thing I put in my body is the good stuff, the good nutrients before I go eat some pancakes or something like that. Because if I do that first, then I won't get to the good stuff, right? So we want to take those vitamins that helps us. Sometimes people say, well, we'll just use artificial sweeteners. Are they better? Aspartame, 150 to 200 times sweeter than sugar. This is what's in the zero-calorie stuff. This is what's in the diet stuff. And this is what people are getting thinking that they're doing better. Now, you are not getting sugar, and you're not getting the calories, but this stuff is not that great for you either. So when ingested, these sweeteners like aspartame, it breaks down into several constituent chemicals, aspartic acid, methanol, formaldehyde, and formic acid. Is breaking down into that. Safety testing suggests that it has caused brain tumors in rats. So we already know that some of the stuff that they're supplementing or putting in place of the sugar and saying, okay, well, you got zero sugar, you got 0 calories, so you should drink this. It also has stuff that's not that great for us. So that means you want to watch your intake of that too. I drink Diet Pop. I do drink Diet Pop, but I don't drink it like all the time, every single day. We try to drink it, watch the intake of it. When I drink it, I buy the little bottles of the Diet Pop, because I still don't want all those calories that comes with the regular pop. So in 1983, they approved for carbonated drinks these sweeter supplements. They put it in dry food. It's in baked goods. It's in confections. It's put into everything. And we have complaints and reports about what it does to people. It gives them headaches. It gives them blurred vision, anxiety attacks, mood swings, heart attack symptoms, and all this kind of stuff is happening through these artificial things and artificial sweeteners that we put in our bodies. Splenda is 600 times sweeter than sugar. It is overtaken equal as the most popular artificial sweetener is Splenda. But it also has some issues too. Manufacturers involve same chemicals as found in swimming pools, chlorinating sugar, the same stuff that we put in swimming pools. It has that in there. That's a part of what's making it so sweet. A lot of this stuff is found by accident, where they were not trying to come up with something sweet. They were trying to come up with something else and discovered that what they created was sweet. And it becomes, packaged and sold, and they make, hundreds of millions of dollars on it, but it was really not what they were trying to create. So it's discovered in 1976 to 2006. It is approved in 60 countries, and it is now found in over 4,500 products. It's everywhere. So more sweeteners. This has been caused to give you headaches, dizziness, balance problems. People having balance problems, mood swings, vomiting, nausea, abnormal pain and cramps, seizures, convulsions, change in vision. It's a lot. Somebody say it's a lot. It's a lot. So that's why we watch our intake of this stuff. So here's the thing. People are saying, well, I'm sick. I don't feel good. A lot of times it's just this stuff. It's why we sick. It's why we don't feel good. It's just the stuff. It's just the stuff we're putting in us. It's the stuff we're eating. It's the stuff we're drinking. It's this stuff. And the Bible said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So we're just trying to throw some knowledge out there again. Not trying to change everything you eat. You can just do some research on your own. Look at the stuff you eat yourself, and then look at how you feel when you eat those things, so that we're trying to be as healthy as we can and make sure. One of my kids was telling me today, saying I can't eat these. I love mozzarella sticks, cheese mozzarella sticks, but I don't. They don't make me feel good anymore. Sometimes as we get older, our bodies change. Maybe person may be getting lactose intolerant or something. But that's what you do. You look at what you ate, and then how do I feel based on what I ate? That's giving me an indication of stuff I don't need to eat that no more. Milk did that to me, where I love milk. Drink big glasses of milk, eat cereal, love milk. But then all of a sudden, I started getting sick. Every time I ate pancakes, I thought pancakes was making me sick. These pancakes making me sick. Every time I eat these pancakes, I'm getting sick. Maybe it's the syrup or something. But what it was, I drink a big glass of milk with my pancakes. I'm always drinking this big glass of milk. So, of course, I was becoming lactose intolerant, and I didn't know that because I always drink milk. But now I can't drink it anymore. So, of course, then I switched to goat milk. Goat milk is great. You can drink that goat milk. Y'all drink goat milk? You don't drink milk at all? Yeah. Well, ice cream can do it to me, too, if I get the wrong ice cream. But goat milk or lactate milk, that takes it out, that's cool. I can do that. Milk is still not the best for me, even though I drink it. It's still not the best. I can still feel I'm different when I drink milk. Y'all hear it, too. If I have ice cream the night before I got to preach, that's why I'm coughing and all that, because it's still not that great for me. Did y'all see your hand? I use that, too. I use almond milk, too. Almond milk, rice milk, all of those are great. Those are better than the lactate-free milk for me. Almond milk, rice milk. The best ice cream for me is that ice cream at Trader Joe's. I don't know what kind it is. It's vanilla. It's like French vanilla ice cream. I think it's Trader Joe's brand. That ice cream is the bomb, and it doesn't make you sick. Wow, that's wonderful. You haven't drank a pop in over 10 years. That's great. Water? Because for some reason, Chinese food, water is fine. I could just have a glass of water, and I can eat the Chinese food with that. But everything else, I want something sweet or something with taste when I'm eating. So that's wonderful that you can do it with just water. That's great. That's healthy. Yeah, that is really healthy. Really healthy. And then sometimes people add a little lemon to their water, and that's healthy too. A little lemon. Yes. Hmm. It doesn't have a taste to it, right? That's what we're saying. She can drink it, even though it doesn't need flavor. She can drink it. I like flavor, so I have to work on that, drinking more water with the meal. That's a little hard for me to do. It is refreshing. So here's the good sugars. Here's the good sweeteners. Here's the stuff we need to have. We need to have what? Cane juice, maple syrup, honey, rice syrup, agua nectar, stevia. These are all good sweeteners. And it'll don't have all the side effects. Doesn't have all that stuff. So I like to sweeten my tea with honey and use honey for stuff instead of sugar. So most of the time when we make tea, we are always putting honey in it as opposed to sugar. So you try to cut back those sugars. So if you could get your sweet from these things, it will be better for you. Notice what the Bible says. It says, my son, eat thou honey. That's the word of God. Eat thou honey, because it is good, and the honeycomb, which is sweet to thy taste. Then it talks about John the Baptist. It said that what he ate was, he was clothed with camel's hair and with a girdle of a skin about his loins, and he did eat locusts and wild honey. So locust was something we can eat. You know, there's certain kind of locusts we can't eat, but that's in Scripture. But most of it you can eat. And people that eat it say it tastes pretty good. I've never had locusts. Does anybody ever have it, locusts? Anybody have ants? Locust is like a grasshopper. You see the grasshoppers? You eat those. They put them, they boil them, then take the legs and the wings off. They take the legs and wings off. They let them dry, and they eat them. That's what John had. That was his meal. That was his meal. He eat that locust and honey. Jesus probably ate most was fish and bread, lamb. Fish, bread, and lamb is probably his main staple that he would eat, and those of that time would eat. But this is what John ate. He would eat locusts and honey. So God has certain things that he tells us we can eat. So how to live a long life, a long and healthy life, you want to use stevia, honey. You want to use those things for your sweeteners. You want to have vegetable salads. If you can eat a large vegetable salad every day, that would be great. It's great to keep your colon cleansed. It's great to get your fiber. If you're not going to eat the salad, I think I said last week, get your fiber cleanse and have that on a daily basis. I use Dr. Natura. It works wonderfully. So if you don't get the solids and things like that, you do have something that's moving everything through you, so you're not getting the toxics. You're not getting that buildup, because that's going to be bad for you. It's going to be bad for your health. Meat and milk. You want to try not to eat meat and milk and drink milk at the same time or the same meal. That's not healthy for you. These foods are just better when they're eaten separate or alone. So if you're eating meat, don't drink milk with it. So if you're eating meat, don't drink milk with it. It's not good for you. Fresh fruit. Try to eat at least 2 pieces of fresh fruit every day. It's not easy to do, but it's healthy for you if you can eat fruit every day. So as I said last week, when you go into the store, if you shop around the perimeter of the store, you're doing great. You go down the aisles, you're messing up. Perimeter of the store, you got fruits, you got vegetables, you got all of the greenery, all of the good stuff. You got eggs, cheese, you got milk, you got all that stuff around it. But when you start going up the aisles for the packaged food, the processed foods, then you're going to get the stuff that's not healthy for you. So you want to try to have fruits. This is another reason why we supplement, because you don't always get this fruit and stuff. So there's supplements you can take for fruit. There's supplements you can take. And I recommend that stuff, because it's just hard to get this. You try to have an apple. I had an apple today. You try to have an apple. You try to have some oranges. You try to have some grapes. You try to have that stuff in your house so you can have some fruit every day. I saw your hand waving then, Sarah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You use the honey for a sweetener. Instead of using sugar to sweeten stuff, you use honey to sweeten it. That's better for your body. Yeah, but see, when you use the sugar in water, it's still going to make it sweet, but the sugar is bad for you. That's why we said do the honey. Yes. Okay. That's a great way to get it in. Put it in, she says she puts it in a smoothie. That's a great way to get it in. If you have one of those blenders and mix it up and you put all the fruit in there and you drink that up, that's a great way to get your fruit. So, yeah, that's really good, and that's great. You can even get frozen fruits into it that way. Frozen fruits and have them in your freezer and then put them in the thing and blend them up and just drink it down. That is a great way to get your. That's why Sarah, look at her. She's so healthy. Look at her. She's just wonderful. Oh, y'all, look at y'all. I'm preaching to the choir here. Michelle back there, she don't drink nothing but water. It's like, we preaching to the choir in here. They got it going on in here. Y'all can't see them on Facebook. They got it going on. They look good. They look like 15, 20 years younger than what they are. And so they got it going on. So I'm preaching to the choir. So water. So we want to drink the fluids at least half an hour before your meal. If you do that and 3 hours after your meal, that helps you keep from picking out on stuff if you get a little full with the water first. So you drink at least a quart of water every day. And this, of course, keeps your colon clean. Helps to keep that colon clean, get that fiber in there. Keep it nice and smooth. You want to keep it full. Want to eat the raw food. Somebody say raw foods. Raw foods. Try to eat as much raw food as you can, preferably organic or thick-skinned because of pesticides. Try to eat this way. Little Mama's been doing really good. First Lady's been doing really good. She's been off meat. How long has it been now, babe? Since June of last year. Only meat she has is fish. So she's like a pescatarian. That's right. That's what they call it, pescatarian. Oh, so pesky, just pesky. Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, she's been doing really good with that, laying off the meat and trying to eat, more healthy and stuff real good. But I'm a meat person myself, so I'm not gonna lay off meat completely, but I try to watch it, But if you can eat the raw foods, that's always really good for you. So salads are raw foods. You're eating, you haven't cooked it, it hasn't been processed, nothing's happened to it. It's in its live state. If you eat live things, you get more life. Dead things tend to make you dead. So yes. Yeah, you can definitely feel full. Yeah, the vegetables will fill you up. Think about the powerful animals, what they eat. The powerful animals. I mean, obviously the lion is powerful, but the lion is not the biggest animal. But it's strong, but it eats meat. But think about the big, strong, powerful animals like an elephant. What does an elephant eat? It doesn't eat meat, right? It's eating fruits, it's eating vegetables. But look how strong and powerful it is. Then you look at like a gorilla, big, strong gorilla. Doesn't eat meat. It's eating vegetables. It's eating fruit. It's eating a lot of it, vegetables and fruits. Hippopotamus. They don't eat meat, do they? I don't think so. Hippopotamus don't eat meat. Again, big, strong. Look at like buffalo. Big, strong buffalo. They don't eat any meat. So they're eating the organic, they're eating the vegetables, they're eating that, and they're very, very powerful. And so we can be powerful too as we watch what we eat. So we don't have to have all of the meat that we intake. Our bodies, it's not as good for us. So we try to get protein from protein powders. You eat some meat, you might eat some chicken, some lean beef, some grass-fed beef. That's always good for you as opposed to the regular stuff. So look here for a minute. This is some of the stuff that God is saying. This is what we need to eat. He's telling Israel, speak unto the children of Israel and saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatever parteth the hoof and cheweth the cud, or cloven foot and cheweth the cud, among the beasts, that shall you eat. So he's saying if the hoof is parted and it chews the cud, then you can eat that. If it doesn't do those things, then don't eat it. And when you look at the animals that do that, the clean animals are the ones that do what he just said, that don't eat, the dead stuff. They're not carnivorous for the most part. They're not like the pigs. Pigs have no sweat glands. So God doesn't want us to eat it. He didn't want the children of Israel to eat it. He's keeping them healthy. And so these were religious things to them, but really they're designed to keep them healthy. They're being very healthy. Then he goes into the fish. So even though we can be people that eat fish, he's even telling them what kind of fish to eat. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat. If you keep reading, he said, but don't eat the other ones. So all of the things that have fish and scales and fins we can eat, but most of your bottom feeders don't have that, like catfish, tilapia, all of your crabs and shrimp and all of that. None of that. They don't have scales and fins. So those things are bottom feeders, and those are not the things that he told them to eat because they're cleaning the oceans. They're eating all the filth of the oceans. They're cleaning it up, and God doesn't want us to put that in us. Now, of course, we know that things are farm-fed now, so I don't think it's anything wrong with you eating some catfish. But he's showing us the stuff that's best for us. And when we get to the birds, we can't eat carnivorous birds. We can't eat the birds like the ravens, the vultures, and we can't eat those birds because he said those birds are unclean. And obviously a vulture is eating what? It's eating the dead stuff, right? Stuff that's there. It's cleaning up the carcasses of dead things. It's like you don't put that in you. You can shoot poison in a pig and a pig won't die. So it's like you don't want to eat that. It's like, but we eat it. We do have bacon. We have bacon. We have ribs and stuff like that. But you don't want to eat that all the time, right? You want to eat that all the time. You want to eat that all the time. You want to sparingly on that stuff, right? Sparingly on that stuff. Okay, here's a good breakfast for you. I told you this Bible class is going to be practical. Here's a good breakfast for you. Vegetable omelet, right? Onions, green peppers, broccoli, soy. Instead of meat, you can have tomatoes and soy in place of the meat. And some orange juice. A breakfast sample is like an egg, with soy cheese or some Dahlia cheese. Is that how you call it? Dahlia, right? Dahlia cheese is not real cheese, so that'll be good for you. Hash browns, some Morningstar veggie patties. These are meatless patties. Meatless things. I don't like those. So I said nope. So I don't like those. This would be healthy stuff for you. You know, oatmeal mixed with fresh fruit. You know, to sweeten it up. Earth's Balance instead of butter. Non-dairy milk. You know, rice dream. These are good things. You know, these are good things that keep you healthy, keep you moving, keep you strong, keep the sickness out, keep the sickness off of us, keep our immunes up. Okay, just get you some breakfast, some lunch. Mixed fruit salads, watermelon, pineapple, strawberries. Now you're getting all your fruit in you. Bananas, honeydew, cantaloupe, apples, oranges, grapes. Get a tall salad, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, boiled eggs, pickled beets. You like that? Pickles, olives. I like olives. Some people don't like olives. I love olives. I eat olives just picking them out the thing and just eating them. I like them all. I like green. I like black. I could just eat the olive with nothing else. Just eat olives. I'm the only person in the house that like olives. My people don't like olives. They don't like them. So at least nobody never eats them. They in there. Yeah. So, but that's good for you. A nice grilled cheese made with whole wheat bread, Trader Joe cheese. This again, it's not real cheese. Earth Balance, get some applesauce. This is just some healthy alternatives for you. Because sometimes people be saying, I don't know what to eat. I don't know what to eat. So I'm just throwing these out there. And, you know, if you're watching this on Facebook, you can always go back, take a screenshot of these. I know you can get them. Just take a screenshot and you'll have it. Dinner. Have your nice vegetable medley. Fried potatoes, onions, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, medley, a whole wheat cornbread. You know, one of my restaurants I like to go to is like Rana Japan or Hamada's or House of Wu, where they cook the food on your table, the hibachi style. And they all have what you call vegetable delights. And it's just vegetables, but it tastes so good. It's all vegetables. It's like it's no meat. It's all vegetables, and it tastes really good. When they cook up those vegetables on the grill, you dip them in the sauce and stuff. You don't even know you didn't have meat. You know, you have the mushrooms and all the zucchini and all the stuff. You don't even know you didn't have meat. It's really, really good. Zucchini and squash pepper skillets. You can create those skillets with onions and celery and green peppers and red peppers and tomatoes, brown rice, whole wheat cornbread, sweet cornbread. You can always have beans, rice, pinto beans, brown rice, coleslaw. These are nice meals. Some nachos, tacos. You can get that. You can get. My wife makes them really good with those meatless taco meat. I don't even know that I'm not eating meat when she makes those tacos. Sometimes we have Taco Tuesdays. I don't even know that I'm not eating meat. She makes the tacos with the whatever that meat is. It's not meat, whatever it is. It tastes like meat. So it looks like meat, smells like meat, tastes like meat. So I mean, just eat the tacos. It's just great. But it's again, your body can digest it really easy because it's really vegetable. It's plant based. You know, the meat is plant based, so your body can really digest it really good. All right, let me give y'all some snacks because I don't know how you all are, but I love to snack. Got to snack. So here's some healthy snacks. You can have baked chips, right? Instead of the regular fried chips, you can go to baked chips. You can have corn tortillas and salsa. Popcorn is good. We go through popcorn in our house a lot. Ashton, he loves popcorn. I mean, he can eat it all of the time. Yes, you have a question or comment? Okay. Well, he really likes popcorn, so we go through the popcorn. Nuts, you know, you got your peanuts, you got your cashews, you got almonds. All these nuts are good for you. They're good for you, so get the nuts. I like to have nuts and raisins. That's like my salty and sweet. So I do that instead of always getting an Oreo cookie. I'll go and get some nuts and some raisins, and that's my salty and sweet. So dried fruit, raisins, prunes, cherries, cranberries, apples, banana, and those things are really good. Peanut butter and fruit spread salad. So instead of jelly, you can get the whole fruit where it's like 100% fruit. So strawberry fruit preserves, grapefruit preserves. So that's healthier than the jelly because the jelly has all that sugar in it. This has, with the fruit spreads, the sugar is coming from the fruit. So it's just the natural sugars if you was eating a grape or eating a strawberry. So that's good for you. So you eat that. That's a nice snack. Sugar-free Jell-O. If for people who like Jell-O, 100% juice popsicles. These are really good if you ever tried it. They are really good. And so you're eating a nice sweet popsicle, but it's just fruit. Fruit smoothies, like what Sarah was saying, she has the fruit smoothies, and put all your fruit in there. It's that's good for you. Non-dairy soy cheese, whole wheat crackers, soy yogurt, strawberries, peaches, and all that, blueberries. These are just some snacks for you. Again, this Bible class was meant to just be kind of practical, get us on right holistic health, where we are looking at spiritually, we're looking physically, we're looking mentally, psychologically, holistically, because sickness is not just one thing. You know, we just come through a season of COVID, a season of all that. We want to make ourselves as healthy as possible, so whatever else come down the pike, we're strong, we're healthy, we can weather whatever storm, we can be more effective for God. All right, I'm finished with this tonight. I hope something was said that'll help you, that'll bless you, and make things better for us. God bless you, Facebook. We're always glad to have you with us. You can sow with us tonight, sow your seed. The number should be on your screen. You can text to give. You can cash app to give. You can go to the website and give that way. But the number should be on your screen. And God bless you. We'll see you on Sunday, or maybe you'll be on our prayer call 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Get on there with us. We'll be praying for you and praying for your requests, whatever they are. We love you. God bless you. Eat healthy. Get some sleep. Go to bed on time so you can get up and do it again.